Has your health been covered up? Today, it's Revealing Wholeness with Dr. Troy Munson, presented to you by Infinity Whole Health.
Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Troy Munson on Revealing Wholeness. Today we get to talk about body hair. I know, it's fun. And, I have female patients come in and they're concerned about the hair on their lip, or they'll have nipple hair or even chest hair on occasion, hair on their back, and their arm hair is very dense. Their leg hair is very dense. They're tired of shaving. It's that kind of pattern where it's more of a male pattern. It's a thicker, coarser hair like guys. As guys, when we hit about 12 and we start hitting puberty and testosterone goes up and we start producing thicker skin, coarser hair, beards, mustaches, the things that we do, that is a male pattern hair. And when we see women with that male pattern hair, it's often that they don't have very strong female hormones. So we're going to find them having more problems with their cycles month to month, more estrogen dominance, more painful cycles, and more irritability. And ultimately, what we're lacking zinc most of the time. And so as we start giving zinc to a woman, we see that we strengthen the ovarian cycles and the progesterone production areas of the adrenals. And we see a woman now become more and more progesterone dominant, less and less estrogen dominant, and testosterone tends to go down. And their body hair starts to fall off. And it's wild. They're like, it just fell out. And I said, well, that's actually normal once your hormone levels are what they're supposed to be. So women, we see a lot of estrogen dominance where typically a woman, if we look inside of her and say, okay, what are all of your hormone levels like? We should see 25 to 30 times the amount of progesterone to estrogen. And sometimes we'll see them even balanced, like even 1-to-1. Which is not good at all, because estrogen is a growth hormone and it tells every cell to grow, and it doesn't care what cell it tells. If it's a cancer cell, it's going to tell it to grow. And that's not a good thing. That's why a lot of hormone replacement therapies that use unopposed estrogen, meaning estrogen without anything else, it goes into the system and creates all kinds of havoc. Though in the beginning it makes women feel better, but in the end it's not a good, pleasant thing. And ultimately taking hormones in that kind of way tends to deplete us more of the minerals that we should have had to balance you naturally in the first place. So zinc is one of the biggies, and if zinc is big, copper is just as big. So those women out there that have heard my chocolate podcast, we talked about craving chocolate is a copper issue. Many people say, well, it's magnesium. I said, well, magnesium is certainly in chocolate, but it's the copper in the chocolate their body's going for. But there's just not that much. Where are we supposed to get copper? We're supposed to get it from natural vitamin C. So a lot of the vegetables and things that are high vitamin C is going to have copper as the core. And so tyrosinase, or copper, natural organic copper, is paired with zinc in the adrenals and the ovaries, and that's what helps women produce a fair amount of progesterone, which is your healing, build muscle, protect digestion, protect your brain, think clearly, build good memories. That's your hormone. Just like for guys, we need testosterone. That's what testosterone does for us. It calms us down, makes us relaxed, makes us nurturing, and we build muscle better, we repair better, our brain is protected. But if we're under stress, we'll convert that testosterone to cortisol, and now those two together make us very aggressive. So people say, oh no, testosterone makes men aggressive. No, cortisol makes men aggressive. You put men under stress and give them a lot of testosterone, you've got a rage monster on your hands. And so as we look at the woman's body, we want to get zinc from a very natural source. Most zincs out there are not very well absorbed, so please don't run out and just grab any zinc. It's not so good. But if you were to fill your diet with things like seafood, like oysters and clams and those kinds of things that are high in zinc, wonderful. Continue doing that. And it will take some time, because zinc takes a little bit of time to get in the system. And you'll be way better off for it, and your body will be stronger. We use a zinc liver chelate because the liver is so vitally important in keeping those minerals in the system and pulled out of the system and sequestering them, but giving them up when they're needed, but also as a repository. The liver is our storehouse. And you probably heard me say that before. The liver stores most of our minerals and vitamins and things like that, so that we can protect the body if we get scratched or a deep gash and we have minerals and vitamins stored all over the body. Those bacteria and viruses that come in with that injury now can grow really uninhibitedly. And so the liver is really trying to keep us safe by keeping minerals and vitamins, for the most part, away from tissues and just enough for the cells to do their job. And when they need extra, the liver releases it and then pulls it back in. That's the liver's job. So we want to build up those stores by taking zinc and taking it for a while. We don't want to overdo that fact either. And so that's kind of a window into hirsutism, they call it, or male pattern hair growth on a woman. And so for men, we'll get into a little bit of hair pattern like baldness and stuff, which is also a zinc issue, but it's also lesser B vitamin issues. Rutin, biotin, all those little lesser B vitamins that make us relaxed and make blood vessels open up and supply blood to tissues. If it doesn't, then our hair follicle loses blood flow and now the hair falls out. And so there's many things that go into the attachment of the hair to keep it in our head as we grow older, as men, as we bald. But we want to make sure that we have those lesser B vitamins. And I'll do a show specifically on that. But that'll give you kind of a window into what's coming up. Until next time, it's been a pleasure. I'm Dr. Troy Munson on Revealing Wholeness.
This concludes another episode of Revealing Wholeness with Dr. Troy Munson. If you have any questions concerning this podcast or others, you can reach Dr. Munson by email at chiroman, that's CHIRO man, @dr.com. Or you can call him at his office during office operation hours at 360-893-8586. This show is sponsored by Infinity Whole Health on the Disruptors Podcast Network.
The information on this podcast from Dr. Troy Munson is meant to educate the listener on a variety of health issues. It is not meant to diagnose or treat any conditions.